Here is a scenario. This scenario involves a question being asked by a user, and this question is, what time is it? So, when we look at this type of call, you might say, well, how can this possibly be an incident? The reason this is an incident is because if we don't call it an incident, then we will never record it as an incident. And if we don't record it as an incident, we won't know if it's recurring. Because problem management is responsible for determining if there are any recurring incidents and eradicate them. So, if we don't record it the first time, we won't record it a second, a third, or fourth time. However, if you get 1,000,000 calls in one day on what time is it, would that have a disruption on service? I think it would. Your service desk would be so busy handling these types of calls that they would not have time to answer other calls, which would then affect other services. Clearly, these types of questions, we may categorize them as silly questions, should be recorded and categorized as silly questions, if you will. If we categorize them as silly questions, then problem management can take a look at these questions and determine if there is a pattern here. For example, why are they calling and asking about the time? Did an application ask them to confirm this? Can we not have built a time system to synchronize with a internet-based time server so that the time can be retrieved automatically rather than asking for the user to enter in this information? As you can see, this is clearly a potential opportunity for problem management to investigate. So in this scenario, if what time is it is clearly an incident, then we must record it, classify it, prioritize it, check the CMDB, make sure that this user is supposed to be calling, verify all their information, check the known error database, and in this case, the known error database does contain information. It contains a time. Known error database does not have to be written verbiage. So we are extracting the time from the known error database. That known error database could be a clock on the wall. Now the question is that a workaround? Because the application that they are entering the time into may need something that is more specific to the time zone or something else that they may need to enter. And that millisecond or a few seconds off may have a dramatic impact on the application. Regardless, if we can find a match in the known error database on how to solve this, we should be able to apply it. In other words, tell them what time it is. It has been resolved. We can close it. Clearly, when problem management investigates the incident database to determine whether or not there are recurring incidents, they will find these. If we did not record it the first time, we'd never know about it. So, that's why, in this scenario, we call this an incident.